How's it going? Tisn't over this weekend. I have actually done probably is already out, a whole Anatomy of a Blu-ray talking about the Tank Girl limited edition set. This is, of course, the hard case version. I believe it's still available at the website if you want to buy it, but you know, you can still get the standard edition, which comes with a sleeve, and the standard artwork version. Comes with a booklet, poster art cards, you know, the regular spiel, of course. I don't want to cover it too much because I did talk about it in its own video, which you can go and watch. Oh, how's that for a thing? I don't know, it's a pretty fun set. I really enjoyed it, so yeah, go ahead, check that video out. Next up, I also bought, this is a double feature. It's called a Neon and Blood-Drenched Double Feature, VFW and Bliss. Both films by the same guy who is called, it's on the front cover anyway, Joe Begos. So yeah, you got VFW, you got Bliss. I haven't seen either of them. I've heard, kind of, like, I haven't heard amazing things, but it was cheap to get it. It was an easy way. It was like, I think it was like maybe 10 to 15 bucks. It was enough that when I bought it with Tank Girl, I could get free shipping. So it was like, look, I either buy a film, aka this, or I pay like $17 for postage. So I'm like, I think I'll just buy this. And the reversible artwork is 2 individual posters, one for Bliss, one for VFW, which is quite nice. The disc art, again, is just the 2 pieces of artwork. I don't know which one I prefer. I will probably stick with this, just so it's easier. But like, if I were to put that like on the inside, it does still tell me all the details, you know, so it's not too annoying. But yeah, I guess when I get around to watching it or put it on the shelf, I'll probably have to put it on the VFW realistically. Which, in all fairness, because I think on the Blu-ray.com app, it comes up as VFW first and foremost, and it does sound more interesting as a name for a movie, whatever VFW actually stands for. I have no idea. I believe one of them's at least a vampire film. I know that Bliss is. I don't know what VFW is about. Oh, it's a war film. Interesting. The second half of this video is going to be like JB stuff, and then hopefully something from the Cinemaniacs. So, yeah. Anyway, this next part is Dead End DVD. I got what is actually a broken case of Streets of Fire. I could tell it was broken because when I opened it up, like, you could immediately see that there's, that. And I was like, oh, that's a little concerning. Man, that footage went really dark. But I've since opened it up, and it's just that top clip has broken off. I still have it. I might attempt to re-glue it, but the discs seem fine, which is good. I have no reason to contact Joel and be like, the product's bad. It's fine. It all seems good. So you get the 4K UHD, the Blu-ray, and the special features disc, which is pretty good. I like how they have all individual artwork as per Shout's regular gist. Again, there's no clicking ability there. I don't believe I have this film. It is, I believe it is Walter Hill. I do have a bunch of Walter Hill films. I feel like I probably, don't I have a Walter Hill set? I feel like I do, from Imprint, but I don't know where the fuck that is. Do I have, or is it just the Warriors? I have the Imprint set, but it's like the driver and stuff like that. It doesn't have Streets of Fire. So I think we saw a trailer for this, me and my mate. They were playing something at the Astor. I can't remember what it is now, but they had a trailer for Streets of Fire, which I didn't know what it was because I've never seen it. So he was like, oh, you should get Streets of Fire. It's really fun. So I figured the 4K seemed like the best option to go for. Then we have Delirium, which is one of those giallis. I've never heard of the genre at all. This is a Vinegar Syndrome release, which is always going to be great because, of course, you can already see the little flashes in the people's eyes. Look at those eyes. Look at it's someone getting strangled. It's a very pseudo-sexual, a lot of spot gloss. Hilariously, the spot gloss on those eyes is actually a bit high up. It just slightly misses like the bottom of the eye. It's kind of amusing. But yeah, so it's called Delirium on one side. Me might not be able to... I've got a clothes horse right next to me, so it's like a really awkward angle to actually be able to show the stuff off properly. I'm so good at my job. Anyway, it does have the alternate name, and of course has that on the back as well. There's no actual explicit nudity, so YouTube should be okay with this. Again, the eyeballs. Delirio Caldo, a film by Renato Polselli. I've heard... I can't say I've heard good or bad. I've heard mixed things. Some people I follow really like this film. Some people I follow don't like it at all. But I feel like that's like most Giallo. Is like, you're either going to love it or hate it. You know? I figured that knowing me, it's almost a no-brainer. It's also a new 4K restoration from the original 35mm camera negative, presented in its original Italian language soundtrack with newly translated English subtitles, commentary, and then a bunch of interviews and stuff. I can still show the back. It is an all-region disc, which is nice. Yeah, you got, your summary of the film, all your special features, and then, of course, some images and all the region coding stuff. What's on the inside? Alternate artwork. Is any of it explicit? Still no. Hilariously, not explicit, but quite fun. I will definitely change that artwork over. Mostly because I already have, the sleeve, which I believe is a limited sleeve, but, sometimes I think it's a limited enough. I don't think this is like don't Vinegar Syndrome do a thing where they have like 2 versions of a limited edition, one that comes with like a poster and art cards or a really nice set, and then they do the basic sleeve version, and then they do just the regular standard case. So, yeah. Delirio Caldo. One of those classic, some sex maniac keeps killing women. Ugh. Imagine that. Ludicrous. Anyway, so yeah. Just figured a fun little addition to my collection of Giallo. Next up, we have one which I haven't seen because, I haven't seen absolutely any of these films. The only one I've seen now is Tanko because I actually watched it after it came in. Hence the name of the Blu-ray. So the next one we have is Needful Things, which is a new 4K from Kino Lorber. It does have alternate artwork. Oh, that's cool. That doesn't happen very often. I love the slipcover artwork. I think we did get a release in Australia, maybe. Ed Harris, Max von Sydow, Bonnie Bedella. Yeah, she's the girl from bloody Die Hard. It's a new 4K. It also has the 191-minute long television cut, which apparently is like 30 extra minutes longer. Comes with Dolby Vision HDR grading, audio commentary of the director, moderated by Scorpions Releasing's Walton Olson, which is on the 4K disc. The Devil is in the Details interview of the screenwriter, and then a theatrical trailer. So not a lot, but the TV cut I've heard is quite something. But yeah, so it's just theatrical cut on the 4K, television cut on the Blu-ray. So that's kind of good enough for me, Like, I don't need any other version of it, I don't think. Yeah, I hope it's good. I don't think there's a reversible artwork. No, there isn't. So that's interesting. That doesn't really happen very often. I think I had someone suggest this to me. It's probably Lee, because he's a huge fan of Stephen King stuff. So I believe it's Stephen King. I want to say it is, but I'm also like, I'm starting to doubt myself. Based on the book by Stephen King. Of course it's Stephen King. I knew it was. I don't know why I doubt myself. And last but not least, for this part of the clip, which I actually pre-ordered this one. I ended up, the order for all of these was one whole order. But this one here was a pre-order. This is the Cat and the Canary, which is the Eureka limited edition Masters of Cinema release. Which I saw. I do follow some people on Instagram. I don't know if you know what that is. Someone I follow on Instagram was posting about how they got the limited edition release, and I was thinking, why does that sound familiar? The Cat and the Canary, So yeah, slipcover. Not too much to write home about, but still, slipcover. It's always nice enough. Yeah, I think the limited edition factor of it, I'm pretty sure this is a limited edition. It just says special edition Blu-ray on the back. But it is a HD, whatever, from a 4K digital restoration of the original negative supplied by MoMA. DTS 5.1, scored by Robert Israel, compiled, synchronized, and edited by Gillian B. Anderson, based on the music cue sheets compiled and issued for the original 1927 release. Brand new audio commentary, another audio commentary, new video essay, and again, more people talking, some interviews and whatever. And more interviews of critics, an extract from the original play. There's a lot of stuff. Reversible sleeve featuring new artwork by Graham Humphreys and original poster artwork, plus a collector's booklet featuring new writings on the film by Richard Combs, Craig, Ian Mann, and Imogen Sarah Smith. Yeah, not too much to write home about, but I've heard the film is really, really good. So, like one of those, the best of the classic, like, 20s films. And again, you do get reversible artwork, which is really nice. So I will be displaying that because I have a sleeve now. I don't mind how Eureka does their artwork. It's usually like a compilation of people's faces rather than, like, spoiler scenes like our video does or whatever. So, yeah, then you got a booklet talking about it. And viewing notes as well. Oh, let me cut to the viewing notes, because it is an old movie, black and white, I think there's some sepia tone in it as well. It is the 20s. So for viewing notes, presenting its original aspect ratio. No, nothing much to say about it. But yeah, so, I don't know, part of me was expecting something more to this. But I imagine when I watch the film, I'll be like, oh shit, alright, I don't need anything more to it. I mean, you still get your booklet, your essays, your sleeve, It's nothing as insane as a lot of other sets, but it is still very nice. And, yeah, that is The Cat and the Canary. So, of course, what else did we get in this bloody week? Cut to the next clip, me. Ciao. Anyway, hello, we're back. I got 4 things from Jibbi Hafa. They had got a 20% off sale. I've been waiting a bit of a while for this. I got the Iron Claw. Man, it really sucks when they're so... what's the thing? Covered in plastic. There was other ones I wanted to get, like the holdovers, and I debated getting like Training Day, but I haven't seen Training Day, and I kind of prefer to watch it probably on streaming to kind of make up my mind as to whether I want to watch it. That seems almost ironic, given that I literally bought the Iron Claw. None of these films I think I've seen. I think I've seen half of one of them. Not much to go around with the packaging for this one. Special features, you get a Brotherhood is Forever, the making of, cast and crew Q&A, forging the Iron Claw. So, standard Blu-ray stuff. Then you contrast that. What was the other one? So yeah, holdovers. I'm thinking of waiting until Christmas to get that, mostly because it is a Christmas film. It kind of makes sense to get it maybe around November. We've got Dream Scenario. I missed this one in cinemas because it was not in cinemas for very long in Australia. I think that's Naomi Watts, Julianne Nicholson, Michael Cera, Tim Meadows. No, I don't know who the woman on the back cover is, but hopefully I'll find out. But apparently this is a very interesting film, so I'm very curious to see it. Again, I don't like the front cover. I mean, Meet the Man of Your Dreams is fine, but the certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, I didn't think we still did that. Like, as a society, I thought we'd given up on that website. Anyway. I'm trying to get this done quick, just in case, because it's like I basically had to beat traffic to get here before, ideally, Dad, who, again, would play copyrighted music, and I don't have any time this weekend to film, because it's Mother's Day this weekend. At least in Australia. I just realized I have, like, UK and American audiences who don't have the same Mother's Day date as we do in Australia, and it really fucks with the whole planet, doesn't it? What if we all just had the same day? Anyway, yeah, I'm holding up goddamn Zone of Interest while saying this. Yeah, I got Zone of Interest. I saw this in cinema, and it was, as you'd expect, I didn't know what I didn't know what it was or what it was about when I went into it. I've seen all of Glazer's films now, because 2 of them, Birth and another one was on the Criterion Channel, Sexy Beast, both of them really good films. But I've had only seen, by the stage I watched this, just fix up the artwork, it wasn't straight. It does have internal artwork with the woman and her baby. That was another one I should have gotten, Anatomy of a Fall, I forgot about that. I'd like to watch it again maybe. I don't know if I'd buy it though. But this one, because I really like Glazer's films, it does come with, extras include 3 Zone of Interest featurettes, so Yeah, I kind of like how it doesn't, I know it's very reflective, it doesn't actually tell you anything about the film. Not really. Well, it does mention Auschwitz and whatever, so it kind of does. Okay, it summarizes the plot very simply in like the second line there, which is kind of annoying. So maybe don't read that line if if you don't know what this film's about, or if you want to know what the film's about. Yeah, it's about the Holocaust. So yeah, you can imagine me sitting in the cinema thinking, well, I've only ever seen what was his other film, Under the Skin, and I'd seen that maybe twice, and yeah, having seen that, I was like, okay, I know I'll expect something artistic, maybe vague in its narrative or, characterization, but it's mostly there for like the acting and the visual storytelling. This one is wholly heavy on the sound design, and it is incredible. That's kind of why I want to get it. I don't know if I'll watch it again anytime soon. It's not like a, hey, guilty pleasure, zone of interest. No, it's just a true piece of art. So it's like, yeah. Whereas Iron Claw and Dream Scenario were two I'd heard very good things about, but were only in cinemas in Australia for a very short amount of time. So I was like annoyed by that. I didn't get to watch either in cinema, which disappointing as it is. This one, the artwork was very, very crooked, but it was the only one they had, and when I looked online, they didn't actually have any at the store that I went to, because I went to Chadstone, because they were playing movies for like $12, so I finally saw Civil War. Been meaning to see that as well for a while. Yeah, I got Wind River. I know I'm like kind of stalling. No special features at all. It's a little busted, to say the least. It seems okay. Yeah, it's just that one side isn't opening properly. So it's kind of hard to close it, but it's also, I want to make sure the artwork is straight, because it wasn't straight when I had it last time. I have seen this film before. I think I actually caught the second half of it one time, or watched the majority of it with Mum, so I wasn't really like, I didn't know what it was. I obviously saw the cast and was like, oh, it's damaged on the top, so it is broken. That's wonderful. But it does close, so that's okay. It's just damaged on the top, so it doesn't swing open properly. But yeah, that should be fine. I'm very exhausted. You have to get inside, quickly run around, make sure everything, like the camera's all set up before anyone gets home, and luckily no one is home. Wind River's very good, from what I recall. But also it's, very highly regarded, so I'm very eager to... My God, I'm sweating. Very eager to rewatch that. You might be acutely aware as to when I obviously film different clips, mostly because, maybe the background's changed a little, the height or something. This time I'm wearing a jumper. That's a first. And runners, which means I'm taller. But I just got back from the Cinemaniacs, where we watched Mummy Dearest, which I have a little pin for. And finally got my copy of the ever so wonderful, I imagine, I haven't seen it. Man, there's so much plastic just stuck to the case. That's unusual for a Criterion. Stagecoach. I ordered this a couple weeks ago, so it's now here, which is great. It's a 96-minute long film. Why did I think it was longer? New restored high-definition transfer of uncompressed monaural soundtrack, audio commentary, comes with Bucking Broadway, a 1917 silent feature by John Ford. Very interesting. A extensive 1968 video interview of Ford, an appreciation by Ford biographer Peter Bogdanovich, of course. New interviews with his grandson. A lot of stuff. Like, there's a chunky amount of stuff. They clearly put in the effort to be like, this is going to be a good, if not definitive, release. And of course, I was watching a lot of John Wayne films about a month or two ago. So I kind of figured I had to get Stagecoach because I've never seen it. So, I might have seen it on a DVD copy one time, but obviously the image there is like the first time I believe you see John Wayne in the film. So I like how they're just like, here's the most iconic shot of the film 3 times over. Yeah. And it comes with a booklet as well, which has, artwork like the front cover and writing about the film and all that kind of stuff. Always fun. Just your regular essay. I think it's just one big essay. No, cast and credits. Taking the Stage by David Cairns and Stage to Lordsburg by Ernest Haycox. And then about the transfer. So, what does it say about the transfer? Anything of note? That's production notes. About the transfer in its original aspect ratio. The original negative for Stagecoach has been considered lost for decades. For this edition, I like how it's also crooked. I don't know if you've if you can see that, but it's actually slanted. I don't know if that's a misprint on the book or if that's deliberate. I don't know. I don't really mind. So for this edition, we evaluated several of the best surviving prints, both restored and original. We found a 1942 nitrate duplicate negative that showed exceptional detail, grey scale, and clarity. So that was the primary source. So yeah, good stuff. Obviously I'll cut back to the end of the video, but I'm not getting any more mail in anytime soon. So this will be the last one for a while. Also, hilariously saw bloody Joel from Dead End at the Cinemaniacs today. See people in the person, in the flesh. This is the way you should go to the Cinemaniacs. You meet so many people who love the same stuff as you. Anyway, cut to the end. That's all for now. I don't actually, unless I go back to JB again to maybe get like Anatomy of a Fall or something, which I don't really know if I need to go and buy it. I'm pretty happy having seen it in the cinema. I don't really think I need to watch it again anytime soon. Like, it could be years before I watched it again. So I'm like, I could save it, you know? At least the other ones, you know, my dad would really like Zone of Interest, just for the simple factor of he really likes, like, historical fiction and whatever, or just films about history, especially that time period. He's, like, writing a book about that time period right now, so he's watching a lot of documentaries. So I'm like, hey, this would actually be good. He'd like this. But yeah, I'm very eager to watch Iron Claw and Dream Scenario. Ideally Iron Claw with my girlfriend because we want to watch that because of Zac Efron, obviously. So yeah. Outside of that, that's all. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one. I don't know when that'll be. Like I said, unless I buy something else from the sale, which I don't have any time to go to JB again, there ain't going to be any mail videos for a while because the only other order I have is from Umbrella, which comes out in like July. So unless I order something from the UK, which I might be doing soon, but I want to not because I'm trying to pay off the final touches of my car, and then I should be good. So yeah, thanks. See you next time. Goodbye.